Not too concerned about it.
All right, then, moving on. Over 70% of Indians say that business houses have become a source of hope since the 2008 financial crisis. But the first ever CNBC Burson Masteller corporate perception...
Not too concerned about it.
All right, then, moving on. Over 70% of Indians say that business houses have become a source of hope since the 2008 financial crisis. But the first ever CNBC Burson Masteller corporate perception indicator indicates that while 49% of Indians feel that companies don't pay fair taxes, 58% of Indian business leaders beg to differ. Shireen Barn caught up with Baer, the CEO of Burson Masteller in New York. Here's a slice of that conversation.
I do think there's a level of skepticism that is clearly there and has continued. And if you think about it, it does make some sense. I mean, those markets were most severely affected by the financial and economic crisis of 2008 that really, in some respects, continues today.
Right.
Whereas in more emerging markets, they certainly were affected. But you've also seen much more economic progress over the course of that period of time. 6 years is a long time now.
Sure.
And we've seen a lot of these economies that certainly there have been false starts here and there, but that have continued to move forward.
You know, you talked about this at the Clinton Global Initiative this morning, and you had former President Bill Clinton there as well and a whole bunch of other participants. What seems to be the solution? What seems to be the road ahead? Because in terms of the role of the corporation, there is a crisis even as far as capitalism in the fashion that we know of it today. What seems to be the solution in terms of the road ahead?
Well, I actually would argue that capitalism is working. Capitalism is always in a state of evolution, right? And we're seeing maybe some dramatic evolution going on in certain fronts, in part because of the influence of technology and the changes that is bringing, the continuing influences of globalization, the rise of a middle class in so many parts of the world that we haven't seen before, all of which at the end of the day is good, right? And capitalism is, as we know, about creative destruction. So there's the destruction part and there's the creative part. I think one of the answers...
There's been more emphasis on the destruction part over the last few years.
There's a lot of emphasis on that, but we also have to look to where the positive is. You know, this survey also shows that around the world, uniformly, emerging markets and developed markets, people embrace the idea that the private sector and corporations drive economic growth, they drive job creation, that they are more socially responsible than they used to be, many things that are positives.